What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Jimmy Wormy. I'm back, baby, with more Doctor Who reviews and information and things like that nonsense. Because my God, our latest episode just launched, a brand new episode for season 2. And yes, it's Planet of the Incels. They say it in the episode. They said it in the reviews. They said it all over the place. It's just Planet of the Bloody Incels. And it's so really just boring, nonsensical. So much of what's actually happening here I'm even having a hard time following, and it's, yes, timey-wimey nonsense, but timey-wimey nonsense that doesn't even make sense for Doctor Who. And while this is a consistent point going on right now within our current era of Doctor Who, considering ever since, well, Chibnall, nothing's really made a whole lot of sense. But hey, why don't I go through parts of the episode with you guys so you guys could just kind of understand how nonsensical any of this truly is. Because we start 17 years ago, in which we have Miss Belinda Charbonabada, and her then boyfriend named Alan, looking up at the stars, gazing up as Alan says something very pretty and nice to her. I believe this was her birthday, but I don't really remember that much. But hey, yeah, he ends up giving her a whole little present that ends up being a star. And I want to mind you, I'm pretty sure Alan is gay here, because when she goes in to, unwrap the present, he goes like, well, you could kindly, peel it open slowly, fold the paper, and keep it for later. Yeah, he's supposed to be an incel, but guys, listen, he's gay. He's as gay could be, and it's pretty obvious, especially when he goes into a kiss after she says, oh my gosh, this is the greatest present ever. And it's very awkward and kind of like, we are going to commence the kissing protocol right now. And here, let me even see if I could get you. Like, it's a very awkward kind of like coming on in, like I'm gonna hold your shoulders. Yeah, it's not interesting. It's boring. It's lame. I don't really have a care in the world for any of these two. And then we jump forward in time to when Belinda's no longer with him, but we're outside a doctor's office or a hospital, and the doctor's outside the hospital because he's excited to find Belinda. They did say that we jumped X amount of years into the future. I will admit to that, but I don't know what the heck's going on right now, and I don't really seem to care that much. Well, we end up hopping in and we watch Belinda do a bunch of nurse things because she's a nurse now, guys. She's a lady nurse, and she's the greatest lady nurse of all time. So she's doing all the stuff. She's being like, I'm the bestest ever. Oh my gosh, it is what it is. We then see the doctor run throughout the hospital trying to find Belinda while he's wearing a goddamn kilt. Why? I don't know. He's just wearing one. I don't know why he has to dress like this. I don't know why we keep putting him in these weird, obnoxious costumes. Maybe because people think it's good, but in reality, it's just annoying. So, okay, Belinda starts leaving for the day. The doctor's over here trying to figure out where does Belinda live because, well, he has to see her. And the doctor is being told, no, I can't, we can't give you personal addresses. The doctor tries to do like a weird little, hey, look away while I infect your computer, when he tries to, do the sonic screwdriver thing on the computer to, I guess, get the information he wants. He blows a fuse and he shuts everything down in the hospital. And they want you to know just how bad it is because they do heart monitors flatlining. The doctor kills people in an attempt to find Belinda. Hey, I'm not even kidding for you guys, okay? I'm not even lying. It goes boop, 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 boop. He killed a bunch of people trying to find this woman. He's a murderer. This isn't the doctor. This is Shooty Magatwa, okay? He's lame and lazy. So we jump forward to her now being in bed, but that whole certificate for her star that's named after her is right there, all pretty and displayed on the actual wall, and she loves it so much, even though she doesn't like her boyfriend, and we'll get more into that later, because I don't still know why she hung it up, especially because later on she ends up saying that it's a worthless piece of trash, basically, to her. So why hang it up at all? I don't know. I don't really care. Well, house starts shaking. Everything starts shaking. Oh my God, craziness is happening. And she looks out the window and she sees a spy ship. Guys, there's a spaceship outside the window. I'm trying to get you an image. See? And it broke into another person's house. It broke into the garage. There's a massive spaceship there. And inside the spaceship is a bunch of robots. come to save, but well, not save, capture Belinda, because Belinda, I can't even believe I'm saying this, because Belinda is actually the queen of their planet, which is that star named after her. Why is she the queen? I don't know. Why is she like, how do they know that they named the planet after her? Another planet named that planet after her? I don't know. Why do they do all this stuff? I don't know. It's all kind of tarded at this point in time. But hey, okay, they come in to capture Belinda at gunpoint, bind you, and they start telling her that, hey, you need to come back with us. You're freaking our queen. You're this, you're that. And then they shoot a kitty cat. They kill a kitty cat without letting us know that they were going to kill a kitty cat. And they just vaporize a damn kitty. And nobody even understands. Belinda at the same time is like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. This is all weird. This is all crazy. What the heck's going on? And then after she's basically said, okay, I'm fine, she's being captured by the robots. They gave her enough time to go inside to her house, get a jacket. So they're trying to capture her, take her away, put her on the spaceship, make them her queen, or make her their queen, or whatever the hell, for God knows what reason. And they gave her enough time to get a jacket. And this scene here is very awkward. Nobody really seems to be shocked or frightened by the fact that the robots are kidnapping her. Even she's not that terrified that the robots are kidnapping her. It's all kind of like, oh, I guess I'm going with the robots now. I guess I'm traveling with the robots, even though they said if I don't go with them, I'm going to be vaporized. There's no, like, hesitancy. There's no, like, oh my God, I can't believe this is going on. Heck, you even have the freaking neighbors there looking at it. And then we also end up seeing Bint from last season that has some weird fourth wall breaking capabilities. It's stupid and weird. And she also breaks the fourth wall again, saying we didn't see her, but it is what it is. So she travels off in the freaking spaceship. The doctor comes in with his kilt, yells, no, Belinda, no, I can't believe I didn't get you in time. And that's pretty much that. And then the intro begins, and it was just, okay, we're here, we're doing this. And I gotta be honest with you guys, I don't know what the hell's going on. I'm trying to follow it. I'm trying to take it at face value and be very generous. It all seems idiotic beyond idiotic. So we keep moving forward, you know, intro. Shooty's trying to follow along with his kilt on and looks all not even fashionable, just looks creepy. But Belinda's over here like, oh my God, why are you taking me? I didn't even name the star. My ex-boyfriend, Alan, named the star. You should be getting him because Alan broke up with me and now I don't even care. I don't even know about it. Blah, blah, blah. Just trying to get out of everything. She keeps bringing up Alan a lot. And then there's this weird timey-wimey nonsense because stuff starts skipping around. Shooty even says that, oh my gosh, this is going to complicate things. And yeah, we end up landing on planet Belinda. Jesus Christ, it should be called Planet of the Idiots. And we have Belinda get greeted by a human. So it's not just robots, guys. There's humans as well on the planet of incels. It gets worse. So this is Sasha. This is Sasha with numbers. I think 56. I don't really know. Sasha comes out to greet them all. And Sasha's like, oh, this is great. Wonderful. Welcome, our queen. We love you so much. Please come in. We will now make you our queen. And the robots are to be listened to constantly because they are robot overlords. And then they end up having fire, like spaceships traveling over them, bombings happening. And that's when Sasha lets them know about all the rebels that are fighting back against the robot overlords. So the robot overlords are showing the rebels because the robot overlords must be listened to at all times, and you must do everything that the robot overlords tell you to do. We're gonna start getting stupider, guys. You might be thinking, well, this is just building blocks. This is just establishment. This is just fine. It gets stupider. It gets much more stupider. Because I still don't know why Belinda is their queen. She didn't name the planet. The Earth named the planet. But how did they know that Earth named the planet? I don't know. I don't get it. I don't know why Belinda's the queen now, just because she shares the freaking name. But we'll get deeper into this, and I'll explain why none of this makes sense. So, okay, Belinda gets brought into the throne room where they say, hey, you know, sit upon the throne. We're gonna make sure everything's nice and polished because this is a polish robot. Okay, this robot just says polish, polish, polish all the time and just cleans the floors. And they end up saying, sit upon the throne, and they start looking at all the humans that are going to be taking care of her. And look, there's the doctor with different hair and different outfit on, because I'm already going to spoil this a little bit. Turns out he's been here for 6 months at this point in time, because in reality, that timey-wimey nonsense bit, yeah, the robots have been using what is known as a time fracture in the time space to go all over the place. So Shooty got there before them 6 months ago, and now Sasha just got there in like a span of a few hours because of time nonsense, because of a fracture in time that they weaponized. How did the fracture happen? I don't really know. I don't want to know. I'm so just bleh. But okay, so she sits upon the throne, and then she's like, now what? And then they're like, yay, we're gonna now have you marry the AI overlord, and I'm already gonna spoil this little bit now. It's not the AI overlord, it's Al. But they don't want you to know that it's Al. They're saying the AI robot generator, the engine, the power, the generator, the thing that's controlling all the robots. This is their leader named AI Generator. But I'm already spoiling it because it's actually Al Generator. Because the reason I'm spoiling it is because it's stupid. Because we're going to get into it because of how nonsense all this is. So, okay. She's like, I can't marry him. Why are you forcing me to marry him? What's going on? And as you see the little star document there, the AI generator, well, Al Generator, ends up showing that he has the exact same one. And the Al Generator ends up wanting, there it is. See, he has the exact same one. The exact same one. See, it even has a little cutoff right there that the robots caused. Because if we go forward just a little bit, see, she has that. It's the same. How is it the same? I don't freaking know, okay? I don't, because they don't really explain it. And they're going to say timey-wimey nonsense. The people that are going to defend this episode are going to say timey-wimey nonsense. I'm sorry, some of this needs to get explained. But okay, enough of me losing my cool and yelling at everything that's going on here. We need to continue forward, because the AI generator's plan is to make her cybernetic. Why? Well, we'll get into it later. I've already spoiled that it's Al, actually, but we'll get deeper into this, okay? I don't know why this is the plan. Just is. But at the same time, feel like we already have a Doctor Who villain that does this stuff. You know, we're going to turn humans into cybernetics because that's the superior way of living. I feel like we already have villains that do this in Doctor Who. Act very similar to everything that we're seeing right now. Have a massive overlord. Oh yeah, Cybermen! It's almost like this is all just replacing Cybermen now, but making Cybermen lame. Because that's the plan here. The robots that have been on this planet for generations and have lived alongside the humans in peace and harmony are now evil because of AI Generator, well, Al Generator, for nonsensical reasons. I don't really fully understand why or what's going on there. Again, we'll get into that in a bit. But so now they want to make her robot just like the Cybermen do, but now we have lamer Cybermen. Okay, I get it. We have, this is nonsense, and nobody actually knows how to write Doctor Who anymore. But okay, so Belinda is like, no, I don't want to do this, or how did this all happen? And then Sasha says, well, let our historian tell you what the heck happened. And then Shooty Gatwa comes forward and starts talking in a very weird way, you know, telling them all about the history and stuff that I really just started blanking out, because what was really important was in this long stretch of time, we ended up finding out that the robots and the AI generator, well, Al Generator, can't understand the 9th word. They can't hear it. So every time the 9th word comes up, we figure out what Shooty actually wants to say. And he's like, hey, listen, they can't hear the 9th word. We're actually about to save you right now, because this is a room not of servants, but of rebels. So, okay, we get this all figured out. Everything goes on. The battle breaks out. Yay! Rebels start saving the day to save Belinda from the evil robots, because the robots want to turn her into a robot just like the Cybermen do. Okay. Well, anyways, battle breaks out. Weird buffer bot starts freaking out. We have more rebels show up, and the whole time, this is Manny, by the way, and we'll get deeper into Manny here in a little bit because Manny doesn't really make sense. He's just strong man. But okay, Manny's there. People are dying. Sasha and the doctor go behind the thing with Belinda, and they're all like, hey, we're going to save our day. Sasha's like, listen, he's been here for 6 months, and I have learned to trust this man with my life, and so should you, Belinda. He's a great man. And then Sasha dies. But I'm supposed to feel something. Now, I get that the doctor has spent 6 months with her, you know, doing shit and being connected and stuff, but I don't really give a damn that she dies because I don't really know her that well. I just know that she was there and she's a rebel. But the doctor reacts like, oh my God, Sasha, no! And then Buffer Robot and Belinda and all them, they get into this orb that's a transporter. So they grab onto this orb and they get teleported away to another area. Then he blows up the orb. And then they find out that everybody's there. They're now in the rebel hideaway. How? I don't know. But okay, they're in the rebel hideaway. They're figuring stuff out. And then the doctor cries. Shooty cries again because Sasha died and all the rebels died. So now he's crying. Yeah, we're about how many episodes? 17 minutes into this episode and he cries like a baby. Like he did all last season. We're prepared for this season. We're going to make fun of every single time he cries because, well, nobody else cares that he's crying. We'll get into that in a later video. But yeah, nobody cares that he's crying. He's just a little wimp and he's a bitch. Okay, so this all happens. We have, Jesus Christ, we have several seconds worth of crying. And then Sasha's like, hey, it's a Belinda says some shit, I don't know. But then they realize that the little buffer bot is with them. So Shooty has to go down and go like, hey, okay, the robots will follow the buffer bot here. So we need to turn you off, buddy. Okay. And then he kisses it and then moves on. So then he starts, you know, trying to figure shit out, try to go all over the place. And then Sasha starts, well, not Sasha, this is Belinda. Sasha's dead. Belinda starts doing nurse stuff because, well, that's what she is. And then we get a shot of Monday from last season because Belinda is related to Monday. Monday is actually Belinda's ancestor. So yeah, that's going on. But okay, we have her do doctor stuff, well, nurse stuff, and do a bunch of things. She's starting to help everybody out. She puts a man's shoulder back into place after it got dislocated. She then pulls a blanket over him and she's like, oh my God, it's an x-ray blanket that does x-ray vision stuff. See, we can see their innards. And then the doctor's like, hey, look, they're just slightly different than us. You know, they have a little bit of different organs. This is the only real different organ. It acts like a sheet that takes, it's like a kidney, but it's not a kidney. It is what it is. Okay. So then Belinda's just like, oh, interesting. And then the doctor goes like, I'm going to show you something cool. And then shows off for no reason that he has 2 hearts. I don't know why he did it. He just did it. But okay, he does it. Belinda starts listening to his 2 hearts. And then she's like, oh, this is interesting. Oh, cool. Yay. Bunch of aliens. This is going to be a fun time. Can I go home now? And then the doctor's like, oh, well, you can't go home. We got to figure out what's going on here. We're going to figure it out. We're going to save the day. We're going to do all this stuff. And then Belinda's like, I don't really want to. And then I kind of blanked out on what's happening here because it's a lot of back and forth. Belinda not really being interested, just kind of want to go home, kind of being disrespectful as well because she also says, behind every doctor, there's a bunch of nurses actually doing the hard work and being just disrespectful, kind of catty. I don't really remember a whole lot, but the doctor starts trying to explain like, hey, you know, like he basically does the whole explanation. He's been here for 6 months. She wasn't. The Al generator has the exact same thing as you. And then they start doing the whole like, well, those 2 things can't be in the same timeline as once because of movies, because then they'll blow up and blah, 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 blah. So yeah, a lot of the information I already told you, they just give up. But then they talk about the little time rift and everything like that and how nothing makes sense. And then the doctor's TARDIS got impounded, blah, 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 blah. It doesn't matter. But then we have Manny, okay? Manny. This gets into more why nothing makes sense in this episode. So Manny here, he's a good one. He's a part of the rebels. He's strong. He's built. He's buff. And he hates Belinda. Why? I don't know. But he hates her. He absolutely hates her and keeps berating her for being the queen. She's not the queen. You guys made her the queen. So don't act like she's the queen. She can't do anything. She just got brought here. So why hate her? I don't know. But Manny hates her for no reason, just because she's the queen and the planet's named after her. But she didn't name the planet. She's nothing to do here. She's been on Earth this whole time. I'm done. But okay, all this is going on. Craziness is happening. I don't really remember what was getting talked here. It's more about the whole timey-wimey blowing up stuff. Oh yeah, that's another thing. When they're trying to explain like all the things being here, Shooty says it's timey-wimey stuff. And Belinda, I shit you not, Belinda says, what am I, 6? The timey-wimey stuff is Doctor Who. Yes, sometimes it doesn't make sense, and you have to use your brain a little bit, but they at least attempt to try to explain stuff. They don't do that anymore, but they used to. That's why the timey-wimey line was fun. But now you're just belittling it. You're making fun of it. You're acting like it doesn't even matter. That's a fun line. And I know I'm using it right now as more of a derogatory term, because it kind of is when we're dealing with Modern Who, but that's an old term from Doctor Who that does mean something and has reverence, but you just belittle it for no reason. Belinda literally says, what am I, 6? When he says timey-wimey. The timey-wimey line means a whole lot more than what Belinda here is. But hey, this is Modern Who. Why actually give any respect or reverence to what came before? But okay, they end up having more robots bombing the place. Things are freaking out. Manny's up there holding up the roof, angry at Belinda because she's the queen, but she didn't. It is what it is, okay? So then Belinda's having a freak out moment, and her decision here is to go to the buffer bot and turn the buffer bot on because she's going to let the robots take her away. Here's the problem with this plan. I know it ends up just working out for her, but what's to stop all the robots from just destroying everybody and then just taking her? Nothing. Her whole plan relies on the fact that she's the queen and that they're going to listen to her. That's literally her whole plan. And yeah, that's pretty much what she does. They're trying to figure out how to get into like the memory banks to figure out what the heck happened. Robots take over. Belinda ends up saying, I'm going to go with the robots. Don't kill them all. And I still am trying to have a hard time figuring out why the robots wouldn't have just destroyed them all then and there, because they don't fully listen to her. They also listen to Al Generator, but okay. So, okay, they take her and Shooty because he's the historian and must listen to this all. And we go to the Al Generator's chambers, okay? And that's when they start communicating. They're trying to figure this all out. So they're trying to do stuff. Al Generator's all like, hey, we're going to get married now. You're going to do all this. And then Al Generator ends up saying, are you already married? But Belinda stops. And then she remembers back to what her ex-boyfriend Alan used to say, which was, are you already married? Which I don't even know why that was even said. I don't get it. It's stupid. But okay. But that's when we get the reveal that Al Generator is actually Alan. Yeah, it's Alan the whole time. And Alan is an incel angry control freak. So we end up having this whole back and forth that Alan was brought here by the robots due to the time rift when Monday was saying, bring Alan here. But I'm trying to establish this, okay? So Belinda ended up saying, hey, you know, back at the beginning, Alan did all this. Alan did all this. Bring Alan here. So it turns out that the robots, okay, they went back 10 years to get Alan from his home to bring to the planet 10 years ago. Why, I don't know, but they did, because at this point in time, they shouldn't be under anybody's control, but they listened to her, and yeah, okay, whatever. So now Alan's here, okay? Alan's here. He's now acting like, oh my God, I get to do everything. I'm in complete and total control. It's like a video game. So then Alan locks himself up into their generator. I don't know why, but he does. And he's like, I have all this power now. I have all this strength. I can make people do whatever the heck I want them to do. And then he just goes on an unhinged incel tirade, killing everybody and forcing them to comply to him. Because in reality, he's a control freak. He's an incel. They say Planet of the Incels in this whole line. And he wants everybody to listen to him the entire time because he's a soft man. He's a wimp and he's an incel. He's blah, 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 blah. I don't get it. I'm still having a hard time trying to figure out how the hell did they get the exact same document as Belinda? They don't explain that. They don't make it make sense. They just say that they do it. And then why the hell did they go 10 years into the past to get Alan? I don't know. They just did it. Nothing makes sense. Nothing is working here, and everything is just idiotic. But okay, we're just rolling with it. So, okay. The plan now is for her to just, you know, succumb to it. The doctor ends up saying, actually, here, I'm going to take this for a screenshot because screw it. Why the heck not? It's a perfect screenshot right there because this explains the entirety of the episode. So their plan now is to have two documents touch each other and have a big time boom boom. Okay. So that's what's going to happen. So the doctor drops it out of his pocket. Swiffer Bot ends up picking it up, and then they just go to touch tips. Okay. They go to touch the tips, and then time boom boom happens. The doctor runs to grab frickin' Belinda, Monday, I don't care, and to help her. And then we get this weird psychedelic, hey, we're living through everybody's lives and stuff. And then it's all over. Shooty's like, yay, it's good. And then they're like, hey, we've been together this whole time because I got to live through your entire timeline and blah, 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 blah. Then they ask where Alan is, and he's like right here. He's a sperm and an egg. And then they have the Swiffer robot come up and clean them up. And then they're like, well, Alan's gone. That's that. I don't know how. I don't know why. I'm just going with it. But okay. Day's saved. Robots are happy. Everybody's happy. Robots are back to being good. Alan's dead. Doctor doesn't really seem to care that Alan's dead. He offered to help him, but no. I'm still trying to figure out what did the doctor actually do other than be there. So yeah, another episode where the doctor's not a hero. But okay, so then they start saying, hey, we're going to rebuild. We're going to do good stuff. Robots are going to pay reparations. And then they're going to be like, hey, we're renaming everything. This building here is going to be named after Sasha. Everything's good. The planet's going to be renamed. And now, Belinda, you could go back to Earth where you're the queen of Earth. So then the doctor's like, hey, I'll take you home. We'll go on this adventure and blah, 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 blah. She gets into the TARDIS. You have the usual, hey, bigger on the inside than the outside. We end up having them all talk around. Belinda's like, okay, we need to go home because I need to get back to home before my next shift at 7 a.m. on this exact date. And he's like, well, this is a time machine. We have time to just travel around and do a bunch of stuff. And then Belinda's like, no, I have to get back. And then the doctor's like, listen, we've been connected. He informs her about Monday, which I don't think is a smart idea, but okay, he does. He informs her about Monday, shows off DNA comparisons. He's like, there's destinies going on here. There's something really interesting here. We can figure this out and have you back in time no matter what. And then Belinda's like, you're dangerous. You're a bad guy, doctor. You want to know why? Because you took my DNA without my consent. Okay? You've been traveling me and stalking me, and you're a villain. I just want to go home, doctor. You need to take responsibility because you're dangerous. And Shooty's like, listen, I'm sorry for doing all this, but you're right. I should just take you home. So he tries to take her home, and it's not working. They're being repelled from the particular date that they need to go. They end up looking out like, hey, should be happening. What's going on? We're going to have to take the long way around. I'm sorry, but we're going to do this. And that's happening. And then we watch as the end, as they've traveled away in the TARDIS, as in space, we have, oh, look, there's a car, there's the pyramids, there's the Eiffel Tower, there's the Statue of Liberty. Everything's destroyed. What the heck happened? I don't know. And to be brutally honest with you, I don't really care. When it comes to this is just more modern day Doctor Who nonsense, okay? It's Russell T Davies proving that he doesn't know how to write. For crying out loud, he crapped all over timey-wimey, which was one of his own lines. Doctor's still not even the hero and just nothing more than a crybaby. And Belinda is just obnoxious, completely insufferable, bemeaning to the doctor, and treats him like a villain the entire time when he's just trying to be what the doctor is. So we're having somebody now chastise the doctor because why not? She's strong, she's independent, she's great, but it's not interesting. Heck, I still don't even know how they got the exact same document for, hey, this is what our planet's named after, from 10 years ago. How do they have the exact same one? How do they have the similar ones? How do they have all this stuff? They don't explain it. How the heck is Alan there 10 years prior to Belinda being there? Don't really explain it. Why is any of this happening? They don't really explain it. Why do the people of the frickin' planet Belinda want to follow Belinda and treat her like the queen? They don't explain it. Nothing gets explained, but this is what we've been dealing with all last season, and it's doubling down again this season. And guess what? Nobody seems to be caring, and nobody's going to continue caring. This is just more modern day garbage from Russell T Davies and Ncuti Gatwa, and well, that's all we have to deal with for a couple weeks, and then it's all over as they go on to a massive hiatus. But hey, that's what it is. Let me get you guys' thoughts on all this down in the comments below. What did you think of this particular episode? And tell me about that. What's your thoughts on Planet Belinda? And in the meantime, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for doing all this. And until next time, guys, please hit that like button, share it out with friends, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell for every time I put out a new video and go live, guys. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.